Stepping off the bus here downtown. You know, when you get that feeling inside of you, when you get that feeling in the air around you, and you're like, yeah, it's this day that's gonna change my life. Well, I feel like that's today. That's this day for me. It says it's all about me. And if you're not living your day-to-day life with the concept of it's all about me, what are you doing? What are you doing? A lot of people like to live their life with the it's not about me standpoint. That's awesome. You know what I mean? That's great. But if it's not about you, who's it about? Food for thought. I watched a TikTok actually just this morning of a girl who had a comment in her feed that said, "You are so obsessed with yourself." And it was a really derogatory comment, and she made that summed up the comment, but she made a statement on it, and she was so well spoken about it. What is so wrong with loving yourself in this day and age? So many people get bashed and battered for having confidence, for saying they're smart, for saying they're beautiful, for saying they're talented, for saying they're great at anything they do. It's like, wow, you're conceited. Wow, you're obsessed with yourself. Okay, but if not you, then who? If you're not going to be on your team, be your team captain. Live life for you. Who are you living life for? If it's not about you, then who? Personally, I have been in some low points where I had so much chatter in my ear from everybody, from teachers, parents, siblings, friends, coworkers, strangers, people online, people you pass by. Everybody has an opinion. And they're going to make sure it's known. And they're going to let you know their opinion. And their goal, 80% of the time, I don't know the statistics, I'm just saying from experience, they're going to tell you how awful you are. I used to get bullied in school because I was too smart. I'd get the answers right, but I was answering too much, right? Teacher says raise your hand, nobody's raising your hand, I'll raise my hand, I'll give the answer. But now because nobody else raised their hand on any of the questions and I answered all of them, I'm the bad guy because I did my homework. You wear the wrong pair of shoes, you wear heels on a day you should wear sneakers, God forbid, right? Why are you in heels? What are you dressed up for? Nothing's going on. Nothing has to be going on for you to look your best. And for the people who are tearing you down about being your best and attempting your best and challenging yourself and supporting yourself and loving yourself, boo on them, right? They're jealous. They're upset that they aren't getting out of the bed and doing what you're doing. At the end of the day, that's what it is. So be confident for yourself. Make it about you. Look in the mirror and say, I love me. I love me. I am smart. I am talented. I am beautiful. I am courageous. I'm getting better. I'm great. There's so many things that you could tell yourself. And I remember back in college, I had a sticky note up on my mirror that said these things, these awesome things about myself. And every morning I did it, and they laughed at me. They straight up laughed at me. Why are you doing that? But then 2 months down the line, they're like, wow, you seem so positive and happy and uplifted all the time. How'd you do it? The same thing that you laughed at me for is how I accomplished who I wanted to be. If you don't have anybody in your corner, that's on you. Because you should be in your corner. And you shouldn't have to ask yourself to be in your corner. And you shouldn't let people tell you that you shouldn't be in your corner. And you should make it about you. You should go get that job because you want that job. You should buy those shoes because you look good in them and you know it. You should read that book because you want to. If it's not about you, then who is it? Right? Your neighbor? Your following? Doing this challenge, the 75 hard challenge, should 100% be about you. Informing it to fit your life. And not just because I'm doing it, but because it's something you want. Be in your corner about it. It's all about me. That's for me. You should have one that says it's all about me too. And you should hold yourself accountable for that reminder. And every morning, lift yourself up with affirmations. It works. Night and day, but it does not happen overnight. A wise man once told me that you will never rise above your standards. So what do you have your standards as? The more you talk down on yourself, the more you're going to let people into your life that talk down on you too, because those are your standards. If you talk up on yourself, the minute somebody brings negative energy into your life, you're not going to want them there because your standards are higher than that. You will never rise above your standards. And if you don't like where you're at, you should think about raising your standards. The minute you raise your standards, you raise your life. I recently did a hike, really strange hike. And one thing I told myself while I was hiking, the first day I left with 60 pounds on my back. And by day 3, I had 50. By day 7, I had 40. By the end of the trail, I had 10. And I kept reminding myself every time I got rid of something, you have to downsize to upgrade. That goes for a lot of things. A lot of people hold on to a lot of baggage and luggage in whatever aspect. It could be emotional, it could be physical, it could be within relationships, it could actually be materialistic things. And the more you're holding on to, the more baggage and luggage you're carrying around. You can't board a plane with more than a carry-on. And you can't leave the country without a plane. So if you want to stay in the same location you've always been and never go out and explore and discover new things, go ahead and carry your house around with you. But the minute you decide that I'm going to downsize to upgrade and I'm going to raise my standards, you're going to see your life evolve. I've experienced it, and sometimes I have to backtrack, and sometimes I have setbacks. But at the end of the day, you need to remind yourself, I have to remind myself, it's only temporary if I'm pursuing something else. If you stay in what is temporary, my grandparents, I'm going to share the story. My grandparents moved into the house they currently live in. It's been 25 years. They moved in there 25 years ago. And it was supposed to be a 1-month house. That 1-month house turned into a 6-month house. And that 6-month house turned into a 6-year house. And that 6-year house turned into a 25-year house. And they're still there. It was temporary. We got evicted when I was a sophomore from the house that me and my mom and my brother were living in. And we moved into my grandparents' house I was a sophomore in high school. And it was temporary. It was supposed to be for 3 months. 3 months, we're gonna get back, we're gonna have our own place. I still live with my grandparents. I graduated high school at my grandparents' house. I attended college, returning back to my grandparents' house. And now it's 25 years old. That's still my home address. It's only temporary if you aren't pursuing something else. I ambitiously hope that some things resonate with you and you can use them in your life. I know I like to watch my own videos back and really think about it, because sometimes you could say something, but sometimes you need to hear it, and sometimes even hearing it from yourself hits a little different.